Welcome to today's explainer. Our mission right off the bat is to deep dive into a really fascinating observation record by Tommy Yoshida, who you might also know as Yoshida Tsutomu. We're going to embrace the deliberate pace of a transitional era here, so we're not rushing to any hasty judgments. We're just here to truly observe. And before we really get going, let's lay down our core philosophy. We aren't evaluating AI performance today. We're not doing a prompt engineering tutorial, and most importantly, we are absolutely not trying to force some grand definitive conclusion. Instead, we're looking at AI as an objective mirror. It's one perspective among many, not some all-knowing oracle. Think of this as a contemplative journey. Yoshida's approach is so unique because he operates on the premise that we are right in the middle of a massive societal transition. He explicitly points out that unfinished thoughts, pending questions, and ideas that just don't neatly resolve, they're all intentionally preserved in his records. If there's any awkwardness in how language, tech, and human judgment are mixing right now, well, it's not a bug, it's a feature. We're keeping the messy parts completely intact to see what they can teach us. Section 1, the start of the observation mission. Now, the foundation of Yoshida's record didn't just pop up overnight. It grew out of a deliberate, continuous dialogue with ChatGPT. And what he noticed wasn't just the tech getting smarter, it was how his own mindset and approach were actually shifting right alongside it. Which brings us to the number 4 whole years. That's the sheer amount of continuous, dedicated time Yoshida spent talking with AI to get to his current realization. I mean, in the tech world, 4 years is literally a lifetime. But after all that rigorous observation, the conclusion he landed on about our relationship with AI is just surprisingly beautifully simple. Moving into Section 2, AI as a thought supporter. That simple realization of his really boils down to this core thesis. AI is an exceptional thought supporter, for sure, but it can never, and frankly should never, take over the ultimate responsibility of human judgment. And he isn't saying this to downplay AI's capabilities at all. Actually, it's the exact opposite. It's a profound recognition born from extensive hands-on use. Just look at the stark boundaries here. On the AI side, the analytical power is immense. It organizes vast amounts of knowledge, presents really nuanced arguments, and compares viewpoints to help deepen our own thought processes. But then, look over at the human responsibilities. This is where accountability lives, asserting actual intention, guaranteeing future outcomes, certifying facts that don't have existing proof, and making that final legal or ethical call. That's all on us. In short, AI supports the thinking, but we own the deciding. So this brings us to a really fascinating pivot point in his work. The main story of his observations is meticulously split into a Japan edition and an international edition. And this forces us to ask a pretty crucial question as we talk about this today. How exactly does our perspective, and the AI's response for that matter, change between these editions? Like, what implicit cultural questions suddenly bubble up when the core narrative shifts its borders? This dual framing is absolutely brilliant because it makes us deeply consider how regional context, language structure, and cultural norms actually shift analytical accuracy. We completely acknowledge and respect the incredibly high level of analytical precision the AI brings to the table here. But this dual framing is exactly why we have to use AI as an objective mirror, just one highly informed perspective among many, rather than an absolute truth. We can't just swallow the results whole. It's a huge reminder that AI always reflects the specific cultural and data pool it's drawing from. Section 3, dialogues without blind trust. Recognizing that contextual bias leads right into the essential habit Yoshida developed over those 4 years. To fight the temptation of blind trust, he practices what he literally calls not swallowing AI's answers whole. And the crucial practice boils down to this. If something feels even slightly off, ask a question. Push back, demand the underlying reasons for an answer, verify the information from totally different angles, and most importantly, correct the AI when it's wrong. By doing this, you're transforming your interaction from just passively receiving answers into a really active, rigorous process of thinking together. You're maintaining that crucial human responsibility we talked about earlier. Let's jump into Section 4, the Snapshot Protocol. Yoshida actually formalized these personal habits into a really specific methodology to track this evolving dynamic between human and machine over time. He calls it the Human AI Snapshot Protocol, or HASP for short. And let me be super clear about this. HASP is emphatically not an AI performance test. It's not some benchmark to see if the AI got a few points smarter. Instead, it's a fixed point observation method. It's designed to document the collaborative zeitgeist of a very specific era, recording exactly how the mutual understanding between us and the machine shifts. The actual mechanics of this protocol are wonderfully simple. First, you ask the exact same question at set intervals. Second, you record the answer. And third, you analyze why that answer changed. You see, the real value here isn't the text of the new answer itself. The goldmine is in discovering the why. Did the answer shift because the tech advanced? Did social norms or laws change? Or, and I think this is the most interesting part, did it change because the human asking the question evolved? Section 5, why we shouldn't rush conclusions. This active methodology is exactly why we have to resist the urge to stamp some final, definitive conclusion on our relationship with AI right now. Yoshida's snapshot from July 2026 is merely a single frame in a much, much longer movie. Rushing to a conclusion today, it's entirely futile because the variables are constantly moving. This 2026 snapshot isn't presented as an absolute answer. Not at all. It is a joint recognition, a shared understanding between human and AI at this exact, fleeting moment in time. Technology is going to advance. Legal frameworks will be rewritten from the ground up. Our own human comprehension of what AI even is will keep expanding. So any truth we think we have locked down today is inherently temporary. It's just one data point in a much larger, ongoing observation of our transition. Which leaves us with this final, lingering thought to take away from our explainer today. When the future you meets future AI to discuss these exact same topics, what will have changed? And maybe more importantly, what will have remained exactly the same? Recognizing and observing that change itself, that evolving partnership, is the true new knowledge we are gaining in this era. So keep observing, stay curious, and remember, never swallow the answers whole.